Is Tesla's Cybertruck the ultimate storm chasing vehicle? Well, what would be the ultimate storm chasing vehicle? Let me tell you what I would think it would be. One debate has raged from the dawn of storm chasing, long before milestones like Into the Storm, before Sean Casey and Reed Timmer, before Twister and the Paxton Mobile. No, keep going. Before Andover, before PBS's Nova Tornado, even before the Toto Project and Howie Bluestein, people have dreamed of the ultimate storm-chasing vehicle. The OG storm chaser, David Hoadley, who is widely considered the father of storm chasing, started Storm Track magazine back in the 1970s. And in the July 1980 issue, he posted up this very interesting comic, a low-poly, wedge-shaped storm-chasing vehicle with a turret for panoramic views, complete with a watermelon-sized, hail-resistant stainless steel exoskeleton, and stenciled on tornadoes to show off all of your intercepts. Now, why does that sound so familiar?
There are similarities.
Of course, this comic was all meant to be fun, yet there's some element of truth to all of these humorous features, like an extra exhaust pipe for human exhaust. 40 years later, hail still destroys windshields.
All storm chasing.
Chasers still put camera turrets on their vehicles, and hail guards, and even cover their entire vehicles in truck bed liner. And many of these things have negative side effects. Hail guards block your view, reduce fuel mileage, and so on. The hazards of storm chasing are many. Wet pancake dirt and clay roads, killer hailstones, hydroplaning, flying debris, rainfall so hard visibility is reduced to nothing, debris over roads, all-subs burritos, sketchy internet access, and sparse gas stations. It's not for the faint of heart, and vehicle choices are rarely taken lightly. So what is the ultimate storm chase vehicle? I mean, not what specific car or truck a storm chaser would like to have, but what I mean is, if we just made a wish list of a typical storm chaser's wants from a vehicle, what would that look like? These are probably the top things in order that I think really any storm chaser would wish they had while watching the weather. Certainly this is my list anyway. Indestructible windows, four-wheel drive and all-terrain tires, very good fuel economy, plus great range, an armored body, high ground clearance, panoramic views, high-speed internet for weather data and live streaming, and of course, something nimble. Now, my storm-chasing Silverado 4x4 hits some of these points, but it isn't an armored vehicle. 450-mile range is great, but the 20 mile per gallon average is far from ideal. And I do have unlimited 4G and Wi-Fi that's rather cheap, though cellular data isn't perfectly reliable. The very popular RAV4, and I have one of those too, hits many of these points as well, though fuel range isn't exactly stellar. Ground clearance is sort of meh, and of course it still isn't armored without modifications. The point is that traditional cars, small SUVs, and light trucks storm chasers prefer these days all have compromises, and filling the gaps is up to the individual. The perfect storm chasing vehicle doesn't exist, or needs to be custom built, but maybe that's about to change. As if Elon Musk himself saw this list of demands and said, "Hold my Starship." I watched the Tesla Cybertruck event online, and while most people reacted somewhat lukewarm to the design, it kind of looks like a puma. It's a warthog, and stop making up animals, Griff. And there may be good reason to be skeptical of the price or features. But what I saw was this, the ultimate, preordained, severe weatherproof mother of all chase vehicles. An almost too good to be true, all hazards, severe weather truck. Stacy, what do you think of the Tesla Cybertruck?
It's ugly.
Perfect. I won't have to share. Late in 2022 is the target date of the 3-motor, all-wheel drive, 500-mile range Tesla Cybertruck. And I think this version in particular is the ultimate storm-chasing vehicle. Panoramic views? Yeah, check out that roof. Indestructible windows? Well, maybe. I guess Elon did say there's room for improvement. All-wheel drive and all-terrain tires. Very good fuel economy and great range. Compared to traditional fuel costs, supercharger prices are quite reasonable. Electrical costs are also more stable compared to the seasonally affected, variably taxed, volatile price of gasoline. In theory, even places out in the plains aren't much more than 150 miles from a charging station, with gaps filling in quickly. That said, storm chasing in the open prairies and finding places to charge a car don't mix, at least not yet. Still, there's 3 more years for infrastructure to catch up before the tri-motor Cybertruck even hits the road. An armored body. High ground clearance, yeah, 16 inches, that's a lot. Nimble, of course, yeah, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, that's very fast. High-speed internet for weather data and live streaming. Now this is where things really start to get interesting. Having high-speed, highly available internet access in the middle of nowhere is not a luxury currently afforded by really anyone, especially us laptop-equipped weather nerds watching water vapor in the middle of nowhere. Not that many people have pointed this out, but I did see some rumblings on the Tesla forums and Reddit. But Tesla's sister company SpaceX is currently implementing the Starlink network, a very high-speed, available anywhere internet system based on a low Earth orbiting satellite constellation. And it should be operational everywhere, at least in theory, by 2022. 4G, LTE, 5G, etc. are all very nice, but it doesn't work very well, if at all, in places like this, and probably never will. The plains of the United States are far behind the rest of the country for data services, obviously. Slow, intermittent internet access and fighting other storm chasers for bandwidth on a busy holiday weekend just goes with the territory. But a factory-equipped, Starlink-ready Cybertruck? Yeah, where do I sign? Now, the steep price tag of the tri-motor Cybertruck is, of course, a big hindrance to the vast majority of people. At least in my case, I need to tow a camper often. I love to go off-roading when I can. I love to go fast.
Damn!
And also take long road trips. The total cost of ownership for me means at least at nearly $3,500 a year in fuel costs, these are recouped fairly quickly over the life of the truck compared to my Silverado. And those numbers are even better for the reduced range $40,000 dual motor model. Cybertruck may arrive on the scene just in time to be the ultimate storm chasing vehicle. One that in 1980 probably couldn't have been even imagined, let alone purchased right from a manufacturer. And this wasn't even on purpose. 2022 is a long way off. But I'm placing my bets. I'll let you know in about 3.5 years. Spring of 2023 is going to be pretty awesome. Or my wife is going to kill me. Like it, share it, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a look at some of my other videos and see if they might be interesting to you. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on Cybertruck and what you think the ultimate storm chasing vehicle ought to have. Thanks again, and until the next one, get outside and learn something new.